Hey guys, it's still March 15th. In fact, I'm sitting here uploading my video for the first part of March. And as I was doing so, I was looking through everything that I still have out, and I decided that I am going to use this one piece of fabric that I said I would probably use. I like it the best. I think everything's going to look great on it. But that got me to thinking, wow, I really do like this Wexford silk weaver linen. Wow, it is really nice. If I'm taking this piece out of my stash, that only leaves a couple of other pieces of that in my stash. I should go look and see if there's more on eBay. This stash diet thing is going to be really hard. I realized what I was doing as I was doing it, as I was like looking through things on eBay, and I was like, no, no, Emily, close that window. So I did. I closed it. And I'm still sitting here with my laptop in my lap because I'm uploading a video. But, like, it's like how quickly you just jump to locate things and buy them. It happens fast. So, I guess I'm just being more mindful of it now. And it's it's an interesting realization. I'll leave it at that. Hey guys, it is crap. Why don't I ever look? It's the 19th, maybe. Yes, yes, it's the 19th. Sunday the 19th. I'm gonna fill you in really quickly on kind of the last few days and what's going on and this and that and and whatnot else. I was watching Miska Cat this morning, and I always notice that after her videos, I'll catch myself saying that, and this and that and whatnot else. So, um, let's see. Friday, I got done with my work week a little early, and I was heading up to my mom's to help her put down new floors in her bathroom. And before I actually went up to mom's, I stopped by Megan's house. Stitching Maze, and we stitched together for a little while, and I got some work done on my Death by Cross Stitch, and hung out with her and her little boy for a little bit. Her sister was there, and her dog Trip, like, totally makes me laugh. This is the second time I've been to her house, and every time when I first get there, like, he's this little tiny little dog, and you would think he's going to gnaw my ankles off. Like, he barking and all the whole 9 yards, and then he gets used to me and ends up in my lap. She actually took a picture of him. He was snoring asleep in my lap while I was stitching, so I'll put that picture I'm going to steal from her here. He's so cute. He's snoring away, and she woke him up taking the picture, so I think his eyes are cracked. So I had so much fun, got to stitch the afternoon away with her, and then drove up to my mom's house, and she and I went and had dinner together, and went to Walmart because that's what you do, because that's all there is in that town. And went home and watched a movie, and then got up the next morning and had some coffee, hunted tools half the morning, and then got started. We laid flooring for, like, we counted it up. We started at 11, worked for a while, scarfed a sandwich around 2, and I think we considered ourselves done right before 5 o'clock. So we laid flooring for about 6 hours. So about 6 hours yesterday, I crawled around on my hands and knees and got stood up and squatted. So, like, I crawled and did squats for 6 hours basically. I woke up during the night sore. I, like, getting up and down from the sitting position today has been, my muscles are so sore. My mom is knocking on 70, and she did the work that I did. And she was sore today too. Jim and I met her, and my brother and his family, and had lunch. And she was sore too, but I'm like, you go, girl. But I'm gonna I'm going to insert some video that I took of kind of a before and after of her bathroom here. So I didn't stitch it all yesterday, and that's what we did instead. We actually had a lot of fun. While I was gone, Jim worked on his Trans Am all day, and I got home. You can probably hear laundry going in the background. That's what I'm doing today. I got home, and I could tell where he had been after he worked on the car before he took his brother back to his house by the grease that was on the refrigerator door and on the pantry door. It's actually laughable because it's like a game of Clue where you can track him through the house. There's something else that I was going to tell you guys. And alas, now I can't remember. Doing good with like my stash diet. I have not bought anything. I know it's only been like a week, but that's kind of a big deal for me. Let me pull the floss off of this and I'll show you where I am on Death by Cross Stitch right now. Just working. I find that it's easy for me to fill the brown border in where I think that it should go, and then I can choose colors and fill in pops of color inside the brown. So it kind of helps me think through that process and what's going to be brown, what's not going to be brown, what's going to link up. So I'm working down the right side border right now, and of course there's another, like this is a 2-stitch high border at the top, and there's a 2-stitch wide border that goes down to like pretty much all the way. So I'm working on that. I guess that's it right now. I really feel like there was something else that I can't think of. Where's Buster? I was pretty much gone for 2 days. I left for work Friday morning, and I didn't get home until, I didn't get home until late on Saturday night because I was driving home from my mom's, and like I was coming off the bypass that goes around like the larger town in between my mom's and my house, and I was going to turn on to this other divided highway, like a divided highway to a divided highway. So I'm turning left onto that divided highway with the green light, and this little girl beside me, like you could tell she had her driver's license for a little bit. She was probably just started college, just a few years, and she got the green light to go straight. So she went straight. I'm, slowly heading up to turn left. This car ran the red light, knocked into her back end, flew past me, airbags deployed, skidded to a stop up the road. Her car spun around in the road and shot her off into a ditch. I mean, I was in the middle of the intersection with my car, just kind of watching it happen. It was so scary. But so I maneuvered my car through parts of her car and off to the side of the road, and thankfully everybody was okay. That poor little girl was crying and shook up, and me and another gentleman stayed with her until the police and her parents got there. And I was the only person who actually saw it happen that stayed. So I gave a witness statement, and this person ran the red light and nailed her, and it was all their fault, basically, because there was nobody who could really, that wasn't in the accident, that could say who had what light. Well, I mean, do people not care? I mean, I don't know. I would want somebody to stop and do that for me. Plus, that little girl was like my niece's age, so it bothered me. Like, she was scared to death. Somebody needed to be there with her. And maybe it's an old-fashioned part of me, but the other person that stopped was like this. He was super nice, but was a man, like this big burly man. Even though he was super nice, like I didn't want to just leave her with a man that she didn't know, because she didn't know him. She didn't know me, but at least you have two strangers, one of them a female closer to your age. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking that. But so I got home late because I got tied up for at least 20, 30 minutes at an intersection and for an accident that I witnessed. But coming back to where I was, Buster, I was gone for 2 whole days basically, and he missed me. He's been hanging out in my lap, haven't you, buddy? You want back up here? There he is. What's that? What's going on? Who loves the phone? Oh, sweet boy. Okay, so I'm going to stop the video there and give this guy some more love. Yes. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow or in a few days or something. Bye. Mom's bathroom before. You can see where the old grid floor that we laid was. And the flooring that we're about to start putting down. And after. I don't think we did too bad of a job. So it's March 21st, and a storm here in Georgia, a thunderstorm with a lot of wind, has knocked the power out. It's been out for quite some time. And I still wanted to stitch, so pulled out this, and I pulled out this. Headlamps are great for stitching in the dark. But I thought I would try or share that with you guys. Those stitchers who are really dedicated. Brought the border down since I think I showed it on here last. Put in that like floral wreath-esque. That is Classic Colorworks Roasted Chestnut. Working on the design inside. That is Classic Colorworks Cauldron. It's kind of a purple color. See if we can get closer so you guys can see that. Actually looks interesting in this light. But anyway, I'm off. I'll see you guys later. Bye. So I'm one of those weirdos that even though there's online banking now, I still like keep a checkbook register and all of my purchases online with my debit card, in the community with my debit card, checks that I write, which are few to none, usually only one a month now for that one bill that doesn't have online payment. I log and I subtract and I make sure that I know where all my money is, and like I make sure that things go through properly. And I'm glad that I do, because people make mistakes here and there. Like as I was doing it, I noted that this one restaurant that I went to and left a tip, they didn't take the tip out. So that would have made everything like, you know, a couple of dollars off. But then like I was like $2 and some change off. I couldn't get it to balance. It was 1, 2, 3 stitch, where I had made a purchase at the beginning of the month before I wasn't buying anything else, and they had shipped all of it except for like one skein of floss that was on back order. You know, they don't charge you until it ships, and I had forgotten to correct that. So I'm like banging my head against the desk trying to figure out where that like $2 and however many cents is and where I had screwed up. And then it dawned on me, that's a skein of floss. Just had to share that with you guys. Bye. Hey guys, it is March 26th. It is my birthday weekend. It is the day after my birthday. If you saw any of the pictures and stuff that I uploaded, yes, this is the shirt I wore yesterday. I just wore it to dinner yesterday evening, so I threw it back on today. I have on no makeup whatsoever because it's just a lazy, bummy day at home. And that's okay. We all need those Sundays. I have stitched and drank coffee and watched Flosstube and horror movies all day. All day. And it's fantastic. I actually paused one of my favorite horror movies, because I do that. I totally rewatch my favorites, to record this video, because I thought I need to do it while Jim's at the gym and while I'm thinking about it. I need to do it. By the way, the horror movie that I was watching, it's a remake of an old movie, and it's not a Del Toro movie. I think he produced it, but I love it. It didn't get enough credit when it came out. It's Are You Afraid of the Dark? It is a movie with Katie Holmes where she is like the girlfriend of this guy. They're redoing this mansion, and his daughter is sent to live with him, this little girl, and there's something weird going on in the house. One of those. I shared this movie with my sister, and it's become one of our favorites. It is like kind of a cult classic with the two of us now. We call it the Heater Monkey movie. That is our affectionate term of endearment for the little monsters in the movie. So we call them Heater Monkeys, and there's a going joke between us. In fact, on the Christmas card that we sent her this last December, my husband drew on the back of the envelope a heater monkey wearing a Santa hat, I think. If I can steal that off of her Instagram, I'll insert that here. So you guys can enjoy Jim's drawing. I know a few people that watch my videos got Christmas cards too. Like I know on Olivia's card, he drew a picture of her cat throwing up. Merry Christmas. So as soon as I finish filming that, I'm getting back to the Heater Monkey movie and watching the rest of that. What to show? I'll show you how far I've gotten with Death by Cross Stitch this weekend. This is the Pegasus. Hold on. How do I want to do this? Super organized today, people. I'll show you the thread that this is first. This is Water Lilies Fiesta. I bought this because it was one of those sale water lilies on 123 Stitch when I was kind of collecting up some threads for my Death by Cross Stitch. I really want to show you a picture of what 123 Stitch's little sample or picture of what the thread color is. I'll screenshot that and put it here. Okay, so that's what I think I'm getting. This beautiful kind of earthy silk. Not that this isn't pretty, but hold on. This is what this is. There is a lot of pink in this. It's really pretty, but one of those things where what you see on 123 Stitch is not what you get. But for a piece like this, I'm making it work. So this is the water lilies, and this is how it turned out with this Pegasus. It's a lot of pink for me, but I feel like if the pink was going to show up in the piece anywhere, this is an appropriate place. A horse with wings with a big heart on it, galloping off into the sunset to fart rainbows or whatever it's going to do. That should be kind of the rainbowy pink and purple thread. So, yeah. Farting rainbows. what I imagine he's off to do. You can't see much of the progress that I've made on this because of how I have all of this wadded up, all of this fabric wadded up in this Q-snap. So I did a little video yesterday for my Instagram, just kind of a slow glide across like I did on my last monthly update video. So you guys can see all of it together without me having to take it off of the Q-snap right now, which is not going to happen. I love you guys, but do you know how long it takes me to wad all of this up in here? Oh, wow. So I will put that video here. When I edit this together, there's going to be a lot of like cutting this film and inserting stuff, but that's okay because I do love you guys and I'm willing to do that just for you. Just so you can see in the grand scheme of things how big this is going to be, I'm going to remind you. Here's that emblem as I peer over the top of it creepily. It's gonna be big. So Death by Cross Stitch March is still in full action. I'm not stepping away from it until next Saturday. Of course, next Saturday, the Coffee Quaker sale starts, where I'm starting this piece. I said I wasn't buying any more stash. I told myself that this was okay because it technically wasn't cross-stitch stash. Beth Twist from Heartstring Samplery has an Etsy shop by the same name, Heartstring Samplery, and she sells coffee mugs on there with the images of her charts like wrapped around the mug. You've all probably seen this already, but she did one for Coffee Quaker. How can you not stitch, or how can you stitch Coffee Quaker and not get the mug that goes with it? So I rationalized in my head that buying the mug was not buying stash, cross-stitch stash. It was buying kitchenware. Anyway, so I would show it to you, but it's in my dishwasher right now. It's dirty because I got it and immediately like drank coffee out of it. But it looks like this. It's a white mug that looks like this. If you want to see it, Tracy P's newest video, the freeze frame, has her drinking coffee out of it. It's awesome. I'm really not like organized today. So if I just kind of sit here and stare at you at times because I'm trying to figure out what's next, that's what's happening. My cousin, who used to cross stitch a lot, keeps discovering cross stitch stuff and sending it to me. She had sent me a whole bunch of magazines, and she actually, if you guys have been watching for a while, if you're not a new viewer, you saw where she had sent me some threads and lavender and lace stuff like maybe like a year ago. So I get this in the mail this past week. So For the Love of Cross Stitch magazine. This is, dude, I'm looking for a year or something. Entertain yourselves while I flip through this and look for some type of date. Well, I mean, it's older because I'm seeing pictures of designers in here who I won't show you because it might be rude to make fun of their hair. Well, I mean, well, I can't show you pictures of these ladies that I'm like, wow, throwback hair. I can't be that person. But it's an older magazine. But there was one in here. The cover piece is nice, but I'm never going to stitch that. I'm never going to stitch that Santa. But there was one I thought, you know, one day I might stitch that. It was this one. This reindeer sampler. Let me fold it back so you can't see the chart. I might stitch that. That's the kind of Christmas piece that I might actually do and put up. And I've never been really big on like the alphabet and stuff, but I don't know, I really like this, like, it looks like a sweater. It looks like a cheesy Christmas sweater, and I love that about it. So that might be one that I do. She also sent me this, which, because I'm not religious, I'm not gonna stitch this one, but it's really cool. Like, it's still in print, I'm assuming, because I looked it up, and you can still get this on 1-2-3 Stitch. This one was bought at Stitch and Frame in Rock Hill, South Carolina for $12.75, which is, you know, maybe a few cents less on 1-2-3 Stitch. This is the Victoria Sampler's Heirloom Nativity Sampler. It's a lot of work for something that's got the baby Jesus all over it. It's really pretty though. Look, I've never done hardanger before, and there's this beautiful hardanger section down there at the bottom. I'm never gonna stitch this, but it's really pretty. This might go into a giveaway one day, because I'm sure like you guys would love it and stitch the crap out of it. I told you guys in the last video that I still had like previous purchases that were still coming in. I received my purchase that I had ordered from that store on Etsy from Hungary, Nina's Threads. Show you her business card. Not focusing. It's really hard to tell on my phone. Anyway, so there's Nina's Threads. Another nice little card in there. The way that I got this, like, these are nice. And it came packaged very nice. Take these threads out of this bag. In fact, the little bag that this came in, it says, there's a really nice sticker on here that says, "Thank you for your order. It made my day. Hope this pack will brighten yours." That's nice. I like that I brightened someone's day. Look at these. Look how silky and glorious. These are the silks that I'm planning on using for Nightmare. These are silk, and they're beautiful. They're called Bon Bon. There's a little bit of like a reddish color in there, and all of these different browns. I'm infatuated. There, that's a pretty good representation of what they look like. Now, what I still plan on doing is it not just being completely these browns. I want to grab some of the silks that I have from Dinky Dyes, because you know, with silks like this, you can't loop method them anyway. You've got to do 2 strands. Every now and then, I plan on doing a short strand of this and pair it up with a short strand of like a greenish or a turquoise-ish, or just something where it looks like that there might be some oxidation on that helmet. There's some discoloration in that section. It might look like complete and utter crap. And I might end up ripping that out and going, "Guys, that was a terrible idea. I don't know what I was thinking. This is now going to be stitched in this." But right now, that's my plan. And I think that that could look really cool. Like a blended needle of those threads. That's my plan. When I was ordering these from Nina's Threads, I also picked up 2 pieces of her fabric, 36 counts, because I'm getting kind of obsessed with 36 count linens. I bought Locust. Let me slide. These are all nicely packaged with these little bands on them. I'm going to slide this band off so I can show you more what this looks like. This is definitely just a neutral. It's a little bit darker than it's showing up here. Kind of a gray brown with a green hue. It's hard to explain. Really pretty though. I thought about, instead of the piece of Stephanie, hand dyed by Stephanie chocolate milk that I was thinking about doing Nightmare on, I thought about doing it on this. Trust me, it's much prettier in person than it is showing up here. And I want my threads to steal the show for that piece anyway. And this is beautiful. This is an absolutely gorgeous piece of linen, but it's not dominant in any way, shape, form, or fashion. It would let the threads steal the show. You would be in awe of the threads, and then you go, and it's nice linen. That's what I want. We may do that. This is the only other thing that I got from her. Also a 36 count linen called Prim Halloween. This looks different in person than it looks in her shop. It's more orange in person. In her shop, it looks a lot like how it looks here, which, you know, obviously it's hard to photograph things. That's more true life. It's so pretty. It is so pretty. I have no idea what I'm going to stitch on this, but it is absolutely gorgeous. It reminds me of that piece that Letitia showed in the video I watched this morning. Hers was also from a seller in Hungary, but a different seller. And hers was called Spiced Carrot. Very similar fabric. And she said, this is the kind of fabric that chooses the piece that's going to go on it. The piece doesn't choose the fabric will choose its piece. Speaking of Letitia, Letitia made me cry yesterday. I say as I get the sniffles all of a sudden. It's gross, I'm sorry. Letitia made me cry yesterday because I got a package in the mail from her. It was supposed to be a completely surprise, but then she was like worried about it and sent me the tracking number, and then it showed up in less than a day. But it showed up on my birthday. I opened a bag inside of a bag inside of a bag and found this bag. This is my very first So Much to Love bag. I had never bought one before for a couple of reasons, because I never really found one that spoke to me, and I love this one. I mean, this is super bright, but Letitia and I both kind of have this love for owls. So this is awesome. She says she has one just like this, so we're twinsies. These are really well made. And as you can tell, she didn't send just the bag. Crinkle, crinkle. Let's explore what's inside. There was this awesome card with very, very heartfelt things written inside that only Letitia could make me all teary-eyed with. I won't read that. There was also this letter explaining everything that's in here, because that's what Letitia does. There was a piece of fabric she said she had gotten in Fabric of the Month, and she had decided was way more me than her. So she wanted to see what I would do with it. It says Under the Sea Fabrics. I don't think this is my first Under the Sea Fabrics. I don't think I've ever had anything from her. It's pretty. This is a 32 count linen and NYX, NYX. It's a really pretty, like, smoky blue. It's beautiful. I kind of already have a plan for that, but I want to surprise Letitia with what I do on it. So, keeping that one to myself for now. Crinkle, crinkle. Let's see. She sent me a snag nabbit, which I've had on my 1, 2, 3 wish list, which I'm pretty excited about. Dude, I could have been using this already. I'm leaving this out. Because there's nothing worse than when you are working with silks, variegated silks, and like you like hold the end down to start and stitch over it, and you catch that end in your beginning stitches and pull it through the front. You guys know what I'm talking about. That annoying end that you can't get to go to the back again, and you're afraid you're gonna mess up your silk because you keep struggling with it. I bet you this will fix that without me saying really inappropriate words to my cross stitch. Thank you, Letitia. I needed this. She also sent me some needles, and my favorite kind, so thank you. She also sent me Twistables colored pencils. She says she uses these instead of highlighters on her charts that she marks, because if you drop them on your piece, you're not messing up your piece. So I'm going to try those. She also sent me, oh, this was fun, a nail file, because sometimes shoes like snags happen and you don't want it to catch on your silk threads or anything. I actually needed one. Thank you. A piece of felt with needle minders a la Abby Bella Stitch. She got these in one of Abby's clearing out 30 for 30, like the TV show Jim watches all the time, 30 for 30 needle minders. Of course, the E had to go to me. This one I love. Look at that. And I already had one of these agate slices. Love these. So nice. So these are going to go on my needle minder board that's down here. But I just got this, so I have not incorporated these onto that yet. I'm saving that for last because that's my favorite part outside the bag. She sent me this chart because she was like, this is just weird. It's just a weird chart. And I felt like you had to have it. And she was right. This is weird and screams my name, and I love it. I don't know that I would stitch the word birds on it, but look at this chick with her birds and the nest in the tree, and you can't really tell. Let me get her close. Look at her crazy hair. This is the lady that I want to be one day. I want to be the weird old lady that like has pets and crazy hair and lives in the house that all the kids are afraid to come up to the door of. I gotta work on the crazy hair a little bit more. Maybe I'll perm it. This is my favorite part. The note says, my contribution to your death by cross stitch. She sent me some random threads. We have some really awesome the Dinky Dyes little pieces that they send you with your orders sometimes. You'll be amazed at how far these will go, because I have gotten some of these and on the little motifs pulled them apart to use them and only used a little bit of them and was amazed like how far these will go. So definitely using these. And then she sent me some gassed threads, which, let's be honest, they're like my favorite. I don't know why I like them so much. I just do. She sent me, we'll show them all together and then individually because I'm just obsessed. Love this corn husk. Obviously, I mean, I'm into this color. This is a Letitia color that has to go in there because it's going to make me think of her when I stitch with it. This is Island Blue. Letitia, is this the color you're doing your entire Death by Cross Stitch in? It is, isn't it? Maybe it's not. Yeah. A little piece of Letitia is getting stitched in there. espresso bean. Girlfriend, if this doesn't go in my death by cross stitch, a little of it is going in my coffee Quaker. I mean, how could you not with that name? Espresso bean? Yes. And the last one, cinders, which you would think would be more red, but it's this like deep, deep purple. It's really pretty. I see me using that pretty quickly. I've never seen myself as a purple person, I say, as I'm wearing a red and purple plaid shirt. However, choosing colors for Death by Cross Stitch has made me realize I obviously like purple more than I thought I did, because I keep pulling purple to use on it, and I don't know what that means. Maybe I just need to accept that I like purple. Thank you, Letitia. Oh! Okay. So the last time I filmed, I told you guys, trying to block that. The last time I filmed, I told you guys that I'd messed up my Death Head Moth needle minder. I had put it in my ottoman, and my like rubbery, flexible dressmaker's tape had stuck to it and had stayed stuck too long. I don't know. And then it like peeled part of the color off the front. I was upset, but I was like, I can't rationalize buying a new one. I'll just use it like this. It'll be fine. This is why the Flosstube community is wonderful. 2 Flosstubers and wonderful, wonderful, wonderful women who already had my address sent me new ones. So I now have my old one, which is all messed up, and then I have a new one and a backup, which I am super stoked about, because this is my absolute favorite needle minder. If I wanted like a flurry of moths on one of my projects, I can totally do that now. The first one that I got came from Danielle Stitcherista, because she was like, I had one of these. I made it. It belongs with you. Here, take it. So she sent me this, and then a couple of other odds and ends ones that she had made. She felt like that I needed as well, because that's just how wonderful Danielle is. I incorporated them in. I'm looking for other ones, like this fun little black flower, and this sugar skull, and this Jack Skellington. And then, oh, she sent me this too. I'm super excited. Do you know how many times I've almost bought Focus? How many times I've almost bought the Hocus Pocus book? More times than I can count. It's really loud, sorry. Really strong magnet on that one. The other really awesome person that sent me one is Jen from Delicious Threads. I had bought needle minders from her recently, and so she sent me that one, of course, and then she sent me the phrenology head that I really wanted when I bought my other one. So now I have 2, and they're awesome. Phrenology was one of my favorite things that I studied in psychology in college. It's a science that isn't a science. Like, it was one of those things that they thought was something, but it has since been like, you know, we can study it for the history of what it was, but this is complete and utter bullcrap. I actually have a phrenology head in my office at work. I don't know if in any of my videos you can see it, but like, this is so me. So me. So yeah, I think I've decided that I'm going to hang this in my pantry laundry room area because, I don't know, it's great and wonderful, but I don't think I want it like out. We'll see, that may change. All right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna stitch some more. I'm gonna finish watching my Heater Monkey movie, and maybe I'll film some more this week. You will definitely get either pictures or footage from March 31st, because that is when I get my birthday present that I'm giving myself, and I won't tell you any more about it, but I am excited and terrified. I'll leave you at that. Bye, guys. Hey guys, it is still the same day. I am continuing to work on Death by Cross Stitch, and I showed you before where I finished the silk area. Now I'm bringing the border down, and I've hit an area where my OCD is kicking in, and I'm going to do, well, there's Dharma, and I'm going to do some kind of reconfiguring and redesign of an area of the border because I just can't handle the way it is. Okay, so it starts about right there. Hold on, dropping everything. There you go. I'm going to show you this little tiny section of the chart. Okay. That really bothers me here. I feel like this should be complete symmetry with 3 diamonds in there. And I don't even know what's going on in this area, but I can't handle that either. So I think I'm going to create some symmetry in this triangle with 3 diamonds, and then I'm going to mirror the border above it down here below it until I can run it into another border down here below. Because I just need for it to make sense and have some symmetry, and that's just me being a little insane. Jim's in the room, so he can vouch for that I have a little bit of OCD.
True that.
True that. I would rock back and forth if I didn't fix this, wouldn't I, honey?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'm going to jump back in and just kind of wing it and work down that border and make it look good and not rock back and forth. Hey guys, I totally meant to finish filming on the 31st or the morning of the 1st and get the second half of March uploaded. Totally didn't happen. I'll have more details on why it didn't happen in a second. It is April 2nd. It's like the middle of the day on Sunday, so I'm going to film what little bit I wanted to put on the end of this, edit it together, and try to get this up today. That is my plan. It's a lazy Sunday, it's no makeup, stitching on the couch, doing laundry, that kind of stuff. I do have to crawl over to my office and put a report together that I was kind of too anxious to do on Friday. More to that in a minute, because I have to turn that in tomorrow morning. Actually tonight, and then have hard copies tomorrow morning. But it's like, you know, like when it's written in your head, something is, and you know you just have to put it to paper or put it to laptop. So I just have to do that. What first? I did not stitch on the 31st. That was going to be my last day on Death by Cross Stitch. At the end of this video, I'm going to do what I have been doing and kind of do a montage of progress pics for the video at the end. But I will go ahead and insert kind of the last place that I was here. So that basically you're looking at page 8 of the chart, which is like the second row of pages all the way to the right. I got all the brown and border work done on that page. And I was like, okay, this is kind of a good point to stop and move to something else. I didn't stitch it all on the 31st, and I was anxious on the 31st and didn't get like work done. I had a lot of hearings and meetings and whatnot, but because I had an appointment right after work on Friday that was my birthday present to myself to get my first tattoo. I did it. So my friend Jim is on call. That's actually where he is right now. He had to go and fix a light. But because Jim was on call, it was when the artist that I wanted had an opening. My friend Katie went with me, and it was really enjoyable. It did not hurt. A lot of people have asked me if it hurt, and there are moments where it doesn't hurt, and there are moments where you're like, that doesn't feel great. And then there are moments where you're like, but that's about as bad as it gets. Or at least the location that I got mine. Hold please. See if I can show you guys what we got going on here. Looks odd. Hopefully you can see it. I'm trying to see what you guys can see. I feel like a baked potato because I still have it wrapped, kind of doing a moist healing. But so I'm so happy with it. I'm so happy with it. It looks fantastic. It's a little like, you know, the artist's rendition of the photo that I gave him, but my husband, Jim, this is the first time I've wrapped it myself because he's gone, but he's been helping me because it's such an awkward location. Like he's been helping me clean it properly and wrap it and all that, the whole 9 yards. And every time, like, everything's off of it, he goes, this is an amazing tattoo. Every time I look at it, I see something different that he did in it and a different color blend. And I love it. It almost makes me wish it was somewhere where I could see it constantly. But my husband's enjoying it, so. You guys know that a lot of you have told me that you always think of me when you see a deathhead moth. It's been something I've loved for years. I love moths. I love like the idea of turning into something else and changing, becoming something beautiful. They are the butterflies of the night. The deathhead moth is something dark and creepy. It also links to Silence of the Lambs, my favorite movie. And this tattoo will forever be my first tattoo. And nothing about this links to my dad, but it kind of will always, the death and life aspect of it, and getting it like a year after my dad passed away, will probably always kind of remind me of that part of my life, which is perfectly okay. I do understand now why people say that tattoos are addictive, because I have already been thinking about what I would get next, where I would get it. It's so hard to encapsulate yourself and define yourself in one image. And I think that's part of the reason for me that I'm like, well, I want another one. Not only do I love this, but I'm like, well, this image or that image or this aspect of my life. And I think it's a need to represent everything about yourself in this art form. And that's kind of what I've been thinking about the past few days. So, anyway, no more tattoo talk. Well, actually, real quick, I will insert a couple of pictures from the tattoo shop. And my friend Katie even took a video that's super boring and short, but I'll put that in here too. And anything else that's related and appropriate here. Okay, on to other things. Yesterday was day one of the coffee Quaker sale. And now you hear Dharma sharpening her claws. have the urge to let you guys know what the weird sounds are. Coffee Quaker, everybody has seen this, everybody is doing this. This is where I am so far. I actually have a thread not all the way pulled through. I do that a lot. Like I'll stop at a point with my needle still going through my fabric. Probably not the best idea, but sometimes I'm like, break. So obviously appropriate needle minders for right now. I feel like I have a giant needle minder on my back, by the way, because that's another thing. This has become such a part of, it was one of my first needle minders. It was one of the first things that I feel like linked me to this community, because that's what some of you guys have said. So it also represents my stitching world and my stitching community to me. It just does. It will forever make me think of you guys too. So first I drink the coffee. This is a Silk Weaver Wexford Linen Solo Die. I bought this one at Needleworker's Delight. I actually bought it there at the shop. This is Classic Colorworks Black Coffee. You can see some subtle variation in there. This motif called for, I believe it was Gast, or anyway, it called for a hazelnut, which I was not completely in love with. And I am using a color called hazelnut, but it's the Wheat Dye Works version. Just a little bit more Emily. And honestly, I think that's how I'm going to go through this. I'm just going to, I want to do this shade of brown or black or whatever for this motif. And I have a lot of the called for colors, and then I have several colors here that are not the called for colors. So I'm winging it. But I love doing that, I've learned. I love things with a lot of motifs and choosing colors as I go. That is why I worked on Death by Cross Stitch for a month straight. It was so enjoyable for me. So I can see me getting obsessed with this one too and being like, I have to stitch this till I'm done. With that said, I'm going to interject here another thing. There's been a lot going on with my work and just different stuff in general, mainly work related. And even though I have started medication last November, I have felt my anxiety being like there. So Jessie Marie, this is for you. I'm apologizing right now because I've been planning to do your birthday sal, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do it. Because I'm just being honest, switching projects every day makes me anxious. And I was trying to do it where I wouldn't have to, but there was still, like, I would have to switch this day and that day for it to stay within the guidelines. And I know that you're super not, like, you're not picky. Like, you don't care. But I was trying to stay by, anyway. I may not participate. I'm sorry. Because I really want to do Stitch Mania, and a whole month of switching that often kind of makes me want to sit in the corner and rock back and forth and hide. And it's supposed to be enjoyable. This is what I do for fun, people. This is what I do for therapy. So I know me. I'm doing what's good for me. To make Stitch Mania something that I enjoy, because I did enjoy it last year, it's very regimented for me, and it's all like things that I want to work on, and it's all, I think I'll be okay with that. I read an article that another Flosstuber posted on her private Facebook, so I won't share who she is because she may not want that out there. But it was an anxiety article talking about things that people with high functioning anxiety, because that's kind of the way I see myself, is I have high functioning anxiety. Like, I can do all of the normal day-to-day things. I'm not leaving my house. But it's like, for people that don't have it, there are things that your friend with anxiety might do. and things that might stress them out. And I was like reading through the list of things and I was like, yep, yep, yep. Like number one was like canceling plans and not going places because you start freaking out. That's the reason a baby shower gift sat on that chair over there for... I took it back to the store. I never went and saw that girl. I never gave it to her. I love that girl. I'm glad she had a baby. I thought about mailing it to her because the day of the event, everybody that I knew backed out and had stuff come up. I was going to have to go and not know anybody except for the girl having the baby. I'd never been to her new house before. I shut down. I couldn't go. I couldn't go. So I think I texted her and told her something came up for work and apologized and said I couldn't come. I couldn't go. So that is very much like so many of those things related to me. And then like after the shower, I ended up feeling guilty because I had done that and like I couldn't like bring myself to go see her and take her the gift. I couldn't. Anyway, I'm off on an anxiety rant. But I'll try to link that article below if anybody's interested in seeing it. Like if you have the same thing or know people who have the same issue. I mean, it was very... It's in no way not like a journal article from some psychological reputable journal, but it was very much true. What else did I want to talk about? Oh, I noticed that I now have over 2,000 subscribers. Guys, that just amazes me. It blows my mind. Blows my mind. But I'm very thankful for all of you guys. I'm humbled by you constantly. I am just amazed that you even care. So thank you. And as a way of saying thank you, I am going to do a giveaway. It will not be advertised in this title of this video. It's here at the end. You know that's how we roll on here. That's how we do things. I don't even know what all I'm going to give away. So it's going to be very much if you're into my stuff, it's probably going to be a good one for you to enter. And let's see. Of course, I don't want you to say giveaway in the comments. I want you to be at least 18. I will ship overseas. Usually the probability of someone overseas winning it is lower. I know how much it costs to ship overseas, but I'm willing to do it. I don't care if you're a subscriber. And I would like for you to be a subscriber, but as with my other giveaways, I'm lazy. I'm not going to go check and make sure you're a subscriber. I don't even really know how to do that easily. So I want you to comment below with... Let's pause and think about this. I got it. I want you to comment below, I think your next tattoo shall be, or should be, I think your next tattoo should be, and what you honestly think my next tattoo should be. So I'll know that you want to enter the giveaway if you give me a recommendation of what you think a very me next tattoo would be. So there you go. If you want to be a part of the giveaway, I think your next tattoo should be fill in the blank. I'm going to be giving away for sure a copy of this book, Charted Peasant Designs from Saxon, Transylvania. I ended up with 2 copies of this. I do not need 2 copies of this. If you recognize this, the Evergreen Needle is doing the cover image. This is not a book for people who struggle with reading charts and your eyesight might not be the best. Because I'm going to hold it back at a distance so you can see one. The black areas are solid black. So some areas are difficult figuring out how many blocks that you would count. Like you have to use the boxes around it to figure it out. So just as a disclaimer, and it's not like a chart. It's lots of bands and motifs, and you can put them together yourself. So for a person like myself or Kelly, the Evergreen Needle, who likes the idea of being creative and putting things together, this book is gold. It's gold. If you can hear my asshole neighbor's really loud bass from his truck in the driveway, I apologize. I love this book, and one day I'm going to decide exactly which bands I want to do, and I'm going to do a huge piece. But anyway, a copy of this. There will probably be maybe another chart that I've already finished, maybe a chart that I've decided that I don't want anymore, probably a piece of fabric, maybe a couple of needle minders, maybe some thread. I don't know. And the reason that I do this is because sometimes when I do giveaways, whoever wins, I like to go look at your stuff. Like if you're a Flosstuber, I like to go and look. If you're an Instagrammer, I like to go and look. If you're a member of a Facebook group, I like to go and look. And if I can, I like the idea of tailoring what I send you to who you are and what you like. But you will get this. So that's that. I am going to stitch some more. I'm going to do some laundry. I'm going to go write that report. I'm going to wait on my husband to come home. So, happy April. Hope you guys have a wonderful month. And I will see you, if not halfway through this month, at the end of the month. Bye, guys.